We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants. Ready to get us started, it's Cade York, and we are underway from MetLife Stadium. Now ETN to start the drive. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On second down, ETN once more. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Giants at 12-4 now on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
On third down, Bonds. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A give to ETN running right. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. And they'll go again with ETN. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. On first down, Fields. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Fields hit, and the ball is loose. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. From the gun, here's Fields. Under pressure, they got him again. Nick Bosa drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up fourth down. And the Giants send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They begin this drive with Chubb. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Watson now to throw. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And he's got this all the way down to the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 4. Etienne once more. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll run with Etienne. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. A give running right, Etienne. Down to the 41.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Being chased out left. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now it's Fields. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And some room to maneuver. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Watson off play action. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. It's the fullback with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Now Fields. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Down to about the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, ETN once more. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 81 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Buying time to his left. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on second and inches. Straight ahead, ETN. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. Going for it. Here's ETN. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. They'll run with ETN. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with ETN. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with ETN. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Travis Etienne with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Giants are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Fields trying to throw for it. He'll buy some time right. And he will get into the end zone. So that shaves 2 more off the deficit as they now trail by 5. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. One play, 75 yards. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Kevin Stefanski going to leave the offense out to go for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. Nothing fancy there on that 2-point try. Give it to the big boy, let him go to work.
That almost felt like sandlot football that we used to play, didn't it? Biggest guy on your team who can carry the ball, hand it to him and let him rumble.
Nobody picked me on the sandlot football team.
You were quarterback, and I know better.
I was the water boy. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up, 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
After the interception, here's Watson. Flushed out right. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Out of the gun, Fields. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. And the Browns will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air.
He's got a man, complete. And he's he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And you know what else? Happened on that play. He just went past 45,000 career passing yards.
He's going to cherish that moment, but he's also going to celebrate it with so many different people. Guys he's playing with currently, guys he's played with in the past, especially offensive linemen who've kept him upright to throw the ball, receivers who've caught it. I mean, just so many people to embrace. And last but not least, a lot of coaches who caught a lot of passing plays.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd and 5 now. Watson dancing to his left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football. The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Off of play action, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here.
Well, partner, a lot of kickers in this spot like to aim at the right upright and just draw it back down the center. This one looked like it was aimed at the left upright and just kept bending away.
They'll start on the ground. Etienne. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nick Bosa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Fields. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. They snap it to Fields.
He's going to sling this deep downfield.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Watson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
And the Giants force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Fields now to throw.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Here's Fields.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here we go on 4th down, Fields.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Watson. And that is caught, and the record is his. It's a touchdown.
So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Fields. The pass complete on the crossing route. This is Tony with it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. On first down, it's Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Denzel Ward. And the Browns will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. On first down, it's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
And the Giants are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here's Fields.
Steps away to his left. And he finds a man on a crossing route.
Finding space at the 40. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Browns are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights and just...
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon.
And the Browns will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. On 2nd and 9, Fields escaping the pressure right. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. 66 yards. And the Giants get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. Steps away. And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all, and if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's McLeod. The end result, 21 yards.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out in the game?
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Taken from about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
To throw is Fields.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Fourth down. Fields has to have this one.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Again, Fields. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants are able to claw one back. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
From the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Well, big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. To the air yet again, Watson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
Quick slant completes in the Njoku.
And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Browns stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Fields on first down.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Third and long. It's Fields.
Looking middle, and that's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
So after the big play on fourth, here's 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun, Fields. And this one is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To throw on 2nd and 10,
Fields.
and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
To the air again, Fields. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Come up the ball. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39.
Throwing again is Fields. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
They'll try and throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Greg Newsome.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. It's a squib kick fielded just inside the 20. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10.
50's the mark. 50's the mark. Let's go, defense.
Throwing now, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Watson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. So a sensational return there on special teams, a foot race that he was not going to lose. But now, meanwhile, while that was going on, we've got an injured player on the field. Well, Week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 22 yards there, a 1st down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. 30 off the mic.
Fields throwing again. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Browns are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And that's caught inside the 35. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
And Watson's going to throw it here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Cleveland,
a win here in Week 18 means they'll finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-5.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Giants,
they lose a tough one here to close out the regular season as they finish at 12-5.
And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.